maybe I'm inappropriate. I like hearing space, I like the whole script. You're such a freaky girl, I love it.
Ayo, bitch. Ayo, bitch. This might be a bad angle. I could really give one single fuck. No, I couldn't. I couldn't even give that. But first of all, we're gonna turn the span off for once in our fucking video career, okay? Because it's rather flippin' annoying. I'm sitting here and doing my most hated activity, which is retaping my subpar because they were in for they were in for like a month. Hair extensions, retaping them. Hate doing it, but I just refuse to fuck for things like hair extensions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like that after 10 years, it just became like a thing that I did, and I hated doing it, like mentally, because you shouldn't think about things like that. But like, say my rate was, let's just say my rate was $400 an hour, right? Then I'm gonna buy hair extensions that are what, $390 something or something like that, right? Then I just equate it to like, that's one person. I'm buying these for one person. One person. These cost one person. If something costs $200, I'm like, yeah, that's a whole half a person. Is that worth it? It's a whole half a person. And so on and so on. And I've said it out loud sometimes in front of people that don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And they're like, do you mean dollars? Why, yes, Susan, I mean dollars. But that's not the subject of today's video. Today's video subject would be, I am afraid that somebody's gonna find out. Do I have to show my face? Are people successful without showing their faces? How can I make money? Shit, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you. I hit her with the brush because I dropped it. I'm sorry, Mom, I did not mean to. I'm really sorry. And how do I make money without showing my face? I've always shown my face, so I've always shown my face, so I am not the one to go to for this. The people that don't show their face would know much more. But judging from, just my perspective, and who am I? This is all allegedly, this is all a lie. Everything I say is a lie, according to law enforcement, okay? And if I ever, so if I was going to try to do any kind of sex work without showing my face, I would understand that the psychology of things says that we are drawn to faces because we see them obviously as more human. We see it as a more warm, trustworthy thing. This is why I couldn't understand whenever I would see even my sister, my little sister. Sorry, sis, if you're watching this, I don't give a fuck what you think. Even my little sister using strictly asshole pictures on her Redbook ads. Surprise, big sister, I followed in your footsteps, except for I'm doing it worse. No. I just don't, because people, no matter how nice your asshole or your tits are, sorry, YouTube robots, it's never going to beat a smiling, shiny face, because the face you're just drawn to. It's just more, I don't know. Look it up yourself. Look up the psychology of it, which is why I really hate the idea of masks. I will never walk into a store that requires masks to enter. That video that's circulating of the group of shoppers that are pretty much mobbing the woman that's not wearing a mask, absolutely insane to me. Okay, I don't give a fuck what pandemic. We can talk about this in a different video because whatever. What I'm saying is psychology it does something to your psychology, okay? But if I was adamant in a younger period of my life that I did not want anybody to know, and I can completely understand that standpoint based on the fact that it does do something to your psyche to also, I mean, equally, if not more, to go in public knowing that maybe somebody has seen your face on the internet and knows what you do, or the possibility of it, or looking in the mirror. And if you are not at the point in your career or life that you fully 100% accept what is going on, which acceptance is absolutely key and necessary completely, otherwise you are going to endure a time period. You're setting yourself up. If you do not 100% accept yourself and accept what you are doing, no matter what it is, you're gonna have a hellacious period of time while you're doing this. You'll hate every fucking last minute of it, okay? If you are in the standpoint that you have to dodge other people and worry if they're gonna find it and live in the shadows and live on pins and needles and just upon the cusp of, is my world going to collapse today? I mean, it just depends. It can go either way. It can go either way. So know what you're signing yourself up for. First and foremost, and that's the bit of advice that I normally forget to add when giving advice on how not to use your face but be successful. I worded that wrong, but you see what I'm saying. But that's absolutely key. You need to come to terms, if you're going to do this at all, you need to come to terms with the realization that it is very possible, if not likely, that someone is going to recognize you and you are going to be outed. And you need to accept that as a possibility, if not an outcome. You see what I'm saying? So you need to be able to know and come to terms with yourself that if this happens, I'm going to be able to wake up and live the next day. If your answer is no, I won't be able to show my face again, it will absolutely end me. Go look for something else. Go look for something else to do, because this is not good for you as a person. Okay? If you cannot look yourself in the mirror, or you know what, now that we have cell phones, it's a wonderful tool to use. If you cannot push that record button and look at yourself dead in the face, because you know who you are, I don't know who you are, you know who you are, and say, you know what, I'm a sex worker and this is what I do, and it's not who I am, it's what the fuck I do, and that's okay, and I'm okay with that, then I suggest waiting. I suggest doing something else. I suggest maybe putting it on the back burner. I don't understand where these two things collide, but I do understand that humans in themselves are anomalies, and there's no understanding them, pretty much. And so absolutely that exists, where you are petrified of the idea of someone finding out, but also it is your dream to be, or your desire to be a sex worker. Sure, that's completely fathomable. But do I advise that it is a healthy thing to do under those circumstances? Absolutely not. But the question was, how do I be a successful sex worker while not showing my face? And it has been done 100 times over. Many women do it for many different reasons. And some of them do it specifically to reinvent themselves after a career of sex work under a certain name while showing their face that didn't go how exactly they wanted it to go. And now that they have the knowledge under their belt, they decide to begin again, and they are more successful. It happens for every variety of reasons that you could ever think of. And my opinion is that if you are going to not show your face, you need to make up for that in personality. You should probably in my opinion, you should take pictures that show personality in the background, showcase your hobbies, your likes, whatever, just behind you, right? You're taking pictures from the neck down, or you're cropping out your face, or you're blurring out your face, or whatever. But put your personality around you. You need to make up for the personality you're lacking by not showing your face. And so whether it is, for an example, putting the same little stuffed animal in the background of every photo, no matter where you are, that would build trustworthiness and consistency for the viewer, and they would be able to hold on to something in their boner-ridden psychology that would say to them subconsciously, yeah, this is the same person. Context clues tell me that this is the same person. This is not a scam. This is the same person, right? Also, like live video, like there's plenty of cam models, although few and far between, there are plenty of them that show everything from the neck down, okay? But because it is live, it is believable. There was a wonderful, on eBands.net, and I think her name was like the Pink Rabbit, or the Red Rabbit, or something Rabbit. I think it was the Pink Rabbit, and she's no longer on there to my knowledge. But she was absolutely amazing, and she never showed her face. She always blurted out, but you could absolutely always tell that it was her, and she made fucking dough. That's why she's not on there anymore. She doesn't have to be. They sent her countless pairs of Louboutins because she specifically noted that that was her favorite type of shoe in her description, and she was absolutely consistent, posting auctions, once a week, every fucking week. So consistency is key, and personality is key. You should also make up for it in your bio/about me and the descriptions of anything you are selling. You should add your same personal flair, and I'm not talking, when I say your personal flair or your hobbies or your likes, I'm obviously, maybe not so obviously, not talking about your government names, personality, hobbies, or likes. I'm talking about your stage names, hobbies, and likes. And those two can coincide, but they will never exist together. This is what you must understand. Those might have been the wrong words, but whatever, when your ears are muffled, it sounds like, is exactly what I meant. So, yeah, just try to, I would always talk about how I'm in all of my about me's, all of Nikki Newhope's about me's and bios and ad write-ups, I'd always be very sarcastic, very anti-hero, very leather jacket and three-finger ring, very Spicoli/Audrey Hepburn-esque, very, my favorite movie is Pulp Fiction, and, I listen to Tom Petty, and I'm going to show up at your door wearing Converse, and I'm going to be driving a fucking 5-speed manual edition, I kept the same beat, right? I didn't reinvent that beat. I kept the same beat, and these people, all the time, throughout my career, and even now, I meet them, and I don't have to tell them what Nikki Newhope is. They already know. And it gets a little weird later on down the line because obviously that's not you, but that's what you want to create. It's called branding, and it applies whether you are a socks company or whether you are a whore, okay? It's called branding. So in the instance that you're not going to show your shining little face, you need to step that branding up so that they can resonate with your character. By no means am I saying go past 2 paragraphs. What I'm saying is add your own personal touch to the 2 paragraphs that you have. Break it up into absolutely I know I overuse that word. Fully digestible pieces of content, just little chunks of content separated by images, leaving the best for last so that they have a reason to continue to scroll down to the bottom. And this video is now 15 minutes long, so goodbye.